Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When we were trying to get this podcast off the ground, we had so many questions. How do we record an episode? Where do we find background music? How do we get our show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other places that people like to listen? And where do we find advertisers? The answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, distributing, and monetizing your podcast. And best of all, it's 100% free and 100% ridiculously easy to use. Anchor makes it simple to get up and running. You can upload and schedule your podcasts ahead of time. It publishes to all the major podcast platforms. You can easily check your stats. I could go on, but instead, why don't you go and get started? Go to anchor.fm/start to join the eCommerce Minute and a diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. We can't wait to hear your podcast.
It's the eCommerce Minute, your daily dose of e-commerce, tech, and retail news with your hosts, Bart Mraz and John Suter. The eCommerce Minute is a production of Sumo Heavy, a digital commerce consulting firm in Brooklyn, New York, and Philadelphia. Find us on the web at sumoheavy.com. It's eCommerce Minute, episode 205.
In today's episode, Adidas closes stores to focus on e-commerce.
German sportswear company Adidas is preparing to close more stores this year to focus on digital initiatives. Calling its website the most important store we have in the world, Adidas CEO Kasper Rorsted told the Financial Times on Sunday that the company will reduce its store count globally this year. The plan is to spend 900 million euros in 2018, with much of the spending going to digital operations such as logistics and infrastructure, including fulfillment warehouses for online orders. The company plans to close 170 stores this year. 220 stores closed last year, with 180 of that count in Russia. The company will still open new stores, but focusing only on 10 to 15 key cities of the world, instead focusing the bulk of their investments towards e-commerce and digital infrastructure. The brand is planning to hire over 200 employees in that area, and Rorsted told Financial Times that e-commerce grew 57% last year. He also said that the company's goal is for revenue from online sales to more than double to 4 billion euros by 2020. Adidas has already been going after the digital market in a bigger way. It launched a mobile app in the US, UK, and Germany that gives customers the ability to personalize their sneakers. The app is slated to launch in France, Spain, and Canada during 2018. Unlike many retailers, Adidas is also seeing healthier margins in its digital sales than stores. While the company is shrinking its footprint overall, it will open or remodel stores in key cities to amplify the customer experience.
Wait, to close all those stores in Russia? How are Eastern Europeans supposed to get their Adidas tracked?
Oh, yeah. And that don't they love their Adidas over there? That's what I thought.
How's that supposed to work?
How's it going to work?
How's this going to work?
You got to go online. I like Adidas. I've worn Nike for years, but for some reason my feet feel better in Adidas. Adidas and New Balance. So I don't really wear Nikes anymore. Hard-hitting news there, I know. According to NPD Retail Tracking, Adidas is now the number 2 sportswear company in the U.S.
Yeah, because good old Under Armour dropped like a rock.
Under Armour dropped like a rock. I think we reported this before. They made too many moves in too many places. And there was a survey that like people now look at Under Armour as like the dad brand or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, they were
now
everywhere.
you go into Under Armour and that's all. You go into Kohl's and it's like that's what you see. It's like the dad. It's like the dad brand now.
The dad brand. Yeah, I mean, Nike is Nike. You know, they still are the top.
Nike's still number 1. It's amazing some of the things that Nike does in their digital department. I saw a couple. I think it was one keynote at Shop Talk this year. Where they talked about their app and just some of the things that they're doing. It's some pretty amazing stuff, but all that takes money. That's just huge investments.
Yeah, but it's investment that makes sense, right? Instead of opening stores and stuff like that, like putting investments into the digital space is the way to go for them. I mean, for anybody.
Right, and Adidas is following suit and doing the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you open some flagship stores that are like experience based and just everything is, for you online, then yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like you're not buying Adidas because you're walking to an Adidas store. You're buying it because they're, influencers and things like that. Like
that's a great point. We've been talking a lot about that, about retail being more experiential. So for instance, I would see Adidas opening a store on the Strip in Las Vegas as opposed to an outlet mall or any other place.
Yeah.
More of an experiential thing. And it's those types of things are more branding exercises than anything because It's really just to get your name there and be top of mind.
I mean, if you think about Adidas as from an influencer perspective, what do you think of? Back in the day,
soccer.
No, yeah, soccer, but like hip hop. I mean,
oh yeah, okay, all right. I mean, so you're talking strictly fashion because
fashion wise, yeah. I mean, you're hitting up Run DMC, and like that's a big thing, right?
Right.
So you're looking at old school influencer, but even the new school influencer stuff. I mean, everybody wears those things.
And it's funny. It's like when you imagine like the top three, you think Nike, you think, oh, it's like Nike. They've got the greatest, the way that they roll out, they do the product rollouts, and they make the rarity, and it's like the sneakerheads are really into it. Then you've got Adidas, where it's like international company. You've got the old school, like the hip hop association, and soccer, like the soccer legend and tradition. Then you have Under Armour, and all I keep thinking about is like a guy walking into Wawa with an Under Armour shirt.
I would say Puma is a better style than anybody, right?
Because it definitely has a better style. But if you look at the ranker, I'll put the link in show notes. I don't have the NPD study, but I have the ranker, which is different. That's just a vote. Ranker here. Let me just 4 in the chat room. Hold on.
I got it. Puma is 4.
Yeah, Puma's 4. Like Umbro is 13.
Yeah, because nobody really knows who Umbro is unless you play soccer. That's a biggie.
Yeah, right. The niche brands like Kappa and Mizuno, they're like pretty rare. But Russell's like 25. Like Russell is Kmart.
Russell is Kmart.
Lecoq Sportif 31.
Lululemon is always 26. Wow.
Yeah, that's surprisingly. I'm surprised. That's surprising.
They dropped a lot. There's other brands that came into the play a lot.
Right, because their yoga pants are like $125. I think that could be one reason. Their stuff is nice. But
I haven't owned any Lululemon at all till last week.
What'd you buy? Did you buy some nice yoga pants?
No, I got nice long pants, but
they were like clothes are great. Crazy. I like their clothes.
Crazy on sale, so they were like
if they're on sale, because otherwise
like $30. Yeah. Vans are 10. Wow, that's cool. I'm a big fan of Vans.
It doesn't show if they went up or down.
Yeah.
Oh, you can.
But anyway, so
this is this is a crowdsourced thing. I don't know how scientific this is, but I think it's pretty close to the NPD study.
I mean, if it's crowdsourced, even right, that's people who are looking at this.
It's people who are interested in it, obviously. Yes, that's good. Well, there's another one on Huffington Post. Where did they get their
things?
Huffington Post get their fake news from. Let's see.
So, I mean, Adidas is doing good moves. I mean, it's for them. I think it's gonna be great. I mean, think about this. Like, if they go strictly after the influencers, go after all web stuff, I think that's gonna be great for them.
The key is the influencers and the customization, which that is huge now, and it's become a lot easier. A, because of apps, and B, because of technology. If you give people the option to customize their stuff, that's the way fashion is really going. That they not only want what is rare or what, that especially goes for Nike. They want the rare releases of the shoes, but they also want something that they can customize themselves, and not just, my name on the back of the shoe. It's just to customize, the look and feel and make it their own.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at, Vans actually has an amazing customizer. You can do a lot with it. So that's a cool one, but everybody's doing it as you should. Like, they're your shoes. They're custom made, and
Vans customizer. All right, so I'm looking at this Van customizer. I can get tie-dye Vans. Oh, so you're basically starting with a blank slate. This is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, you're changing every piece of that shoe. Oh yeah. I know. Like every piece of a shoe. It's great. Including this, it's
really good too. This is really well done.
Yeah.
Well done. All right, so they're $85, so they're really not crazy expensive. Pretty cool. So yeah, that's the way to go. People are gonna just customize and make things their own. We'll see how Adidas makes out the next year. All right, got anything else?
That's it.
All right, that's your e-commerce minute for today. We'll see you on the internet tomorrow. That's it for today's show. If you like the show, do us a favor and subscribe, or leave us a review on iTunes. And don't forget, you can now listen to the eCommerce Minute on your Amazon device. Just add eCommerce Minute to your flash briefing. And finally, if you have a comment or suggestion, or just want to say hi, find us on social media at Sumo Heavy.